and then share my screen. Hopefully, you guys will be able to see it. Are you seeing that now?
I see it.
Yep.
Yep.
Hopefully NetBeans won't knock you out like it did my other class. Come on. Always takes a little bit. Okay, you seeing this now? And you can hear me, right?
Yep. All good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So like I said, the program I want to write is to calculate concrete. Okay. So we'll just call it the, up here, I'll just call it concrete calculator. And here we'll just do project, the Acme concrete calculator. And this is concrete calculator.java. And the date today finally is 10 Feb 2021. Author is me. And purpose is a program to calculate the amount of concrete needed to pour either a rectangle shaped object or a circular object. I'll finish. I want to finish that. Given user inputs. All right, so I need user input, so that I know for sure I need to import the scanner. What's that? It's gonna lock up. There we go. So underneath that utilities, these are all the different utilities that are stored in that directory, or in that library, I should say. And we've just used the scanner and we used the random so far. And then we can hit enter here and make that nice. Get rid of this. And that, so they're one above each other. And then indent it a couple. And then get rid of that. And divide this off. There we go. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is instantiate my scanner. So I'm going to say scanner, my input or something like that. or how about user input? USR input is equal to new scanner. All right, and then we'll say system.out. Excuse me. Something to that effect. About 0 for a rectangle, or 1 for a circle, or circular, pour. That'll work. And then, so then we're going to put int choice is equal to user input dot next int, something like that. And then what we can do is say if, or we could do I guess. I was going to use a switch, but it's kind of small for that. I'm going to just say this. If choice is greater than or equal to 0, or no, if choice is equal to 0, or choice is equal to 1, then we're going to do something. Else, we're going to send a message system.out print line only 0 and 1 are valid. Restart the program. For now, that's our only option. We don't have a loop, so. And then outside of that, we can put this in right away. All right. So we got that. Save that. And let's test this thing. That should be okay. So if I run it now, if I type 0, it prints it out and says quits. If I type 1, it prints it out. If I type 2, it says only 0 and 1 are valid, restart the program. So that's good. It's doing what we want, right? So once we're in here, we're going to nest. What do you want me to use? Let's go ahead and use a switch inside here. And again, I could use just as well, I could use the an if just as easily. It's a matter of preference. Okay, so then this goes here, and we have case 0. Okay, and 0 is for a rectangle. So I need this system. In, let's call it feet. Or does it matter? Linear units. And then we can put, I need to put my variables. I'm going to put them out here. Let's see. I guess I could calculate them inside. Let's do this, I think. This will be a double cubic. Units. I think that'll be okay. So in here, again, like I told you the other day, whatever I put in here is only good in this switch from right here to right here. Okay. Anything I would put in here is only good in here. If I put it out here, it's good through the whole thing. Okay, so these calculations are only going to work inside, and I'm going to have to save them to the cubic units on the outside. So this one here is going to be double, will be length is equal to choice, nope, not choice. User input dot next double. And then system dot out dot print. And let's see here. Enter the width in linear. units and no different than the other one. Something to that effect. And then this one. Or do I want to use just depth? And then we'll make, you know what? I'm going to change that cubic units to volume. Right there. So then down here, I can put my process, the volume is equal to length times width times depth. Oops, you gotta spell length, right? Okay, and then I think I can get rid of that much space there. I think this one goes with that one. And then here, we can just do this actually, I think, default. And this one will say, well, let's do this first. .1415, we'll make that 6. And then we can do and then actually, we can just copy this right here. Control C, come down here. Control V. And I think that's right. I don't know if I like this. It's fine though. My concern is, so this is pi times radius times depth. That goes with that, that's right. That goes with that, that's right. So I got that. My only, see, because I declared these inside of here, they're only good. So I guess I could do it that way. That would be all right, I think. Let's do this. Okay, so we got our inputs here. And then we get down to here. And we get our process going. And then we're going to do this. And I'm going to show you a little trick here. All right. So, I'm going to show you how to do a printf, even though I don't think it's shown until next. Okay, so I'm going to type printf, and that's print formatting. So now what I'm going to type is just a sentence like a rectangle with a length of, and right here, 0.2, let's see, no, percent 0.2 F linear units and a width of percent 0.2 F. That just means I want 2 decimal places. Linear units. And a depth of 0.2 F linear units. Will have a volume of percent 0.2 F cubic units. All right. So now those are placeholders. Those 2F type stuff is all. So now that means I need 3 variables to put in here. Or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's right. So the first one is length, then width, then depth, then volume to fill those in. And then this should have a semicolon and it should go off. There you go. So there's the one for a rectangle type object, like a wall or a patio that's square. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put a slash n right here. And I'm going to put a slash n right here. That means I want a new line right there. Slash n right there. Okay. If I don't put that in, I'm going to get one big long line, and I don't want that. So then I come down here, and for a circular patio or whatever, I got my inputs here. And then I got my calculation. Circle, of course, is pi times the radius squared. So the volume of that same circle would be pi times the radius squared times depth. And so now all we need is our output. And it'll be similar to the one above. I'm going to copy. I wonder how bad it'd be if I just copy this. A circle. Oh, that's probably just easier for me to type it. So I'm going to say system out. Printf. And put a circle. Or let's see. Yeah. A circular object with a radius of %.2f and a depth. Let's put that on a slash n depth of %.2f has a or will have a volume of %2.2f cubic. Oh, I forgot my little linear units. And then I'm going to move this down. This one is slash n here. There. The depth of 2 linear units will have a volume of 2 cubic units. Okay, so this is my one for the circular object with a radius of units, new line, and a depth of linear units. Will have a volume of 0.2f cubic units. And so now we need comma, radius, and depth, and volume. I wonder if it'll work. I'm going to save it. And let's see what we got. Okay, so I want 0, The length in linear units, okay? So I'm going to just say 10. And if I say enter the width in linear units, I'll say 10. And, oh, just to check it, I'm going to put in 10 for the depth. That would be a big block of concrete, though. A rectangle with a length of 10 linear units. Oh, I forgot my break. See what happened? So it went down and kept. Or did it keep going? A rectangle with a length of 10 linear units, width of 10 linear units, and a depth of 10 linear units will have a volume of 1,000 cubic units. That's right. But then it asked me what the radius is. So I don't want that. So I forgot to put in right here. I need my break. And we'll put one in here too, even though you really don't need it because but the calculation was right, I believe. 10 times 10 times 10, right? So it does that. And then I can trust the other one. It's 1. So what is the radius? We'll say 5, because that'll make the diameter 10 times 3.14159. And then we'll make the depth 10. So if I got the radius of 5 linear units, and a depth of 10 linear units, we'll have a volume of, oh, it'd be 5 times 5. Let me run that one again, just to get a, so 1, and I'll put in 10 this time with a depth of 10. And that's right, because if I had 10 times 10 is 100 times 3.14 would be 314.16. And then I multiply by a depth of 10, comes out to 3,141. And I think what else I can do here, I forget exactly how to put that comma in. I think it's, is it comma point? I don't know if I can do this. Let me see if that errors out. I believe there's a way I can do this. There you go. So I put the comma in by just placing a comma in front of it. Right there. And then that comma should not show up if it's less than 1,000, you know. In other words, if I run it now, and I just say 0, and I do 1.5 by 1.5 by 1. See, I don't get a comma or anything. And we could also come down here and do this. Let's see here. In front of each line, I'm going to just put /T. Oops. And I'm just going to move it over a little bit when it prints out. /T. /T. Do the same thing here. /T. And /T. So now when we run it, let's go with a 0 this time. And we got a 20-foot long wall, and it's 4 foot high, and it's 4 inches thick. So it'll be 0.33. And then that indents like that. So if it was in feet and yards, you divide, that would take 1 cubic yard. 1 cubic yard of concrete is 27 cubic feet. So this would take right at about 1 cubic yard. But you see how I indented it here? So it sticks out a little better. Our answer.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
NetBean has a yellow line under the first line of the print Fs, and it's saying it can be converted to a text block. I'm assuming it's not an error since it's not red, so I was just curious what they mean by that.
This value is never used. That's not true. Oh, this one here we can get rid of by just doing that. And then this one says convert switch to a rule switch. Don't worry about that. And that's the only one I have.
I guess it's only on my end then.
If it's just a yellow warning, don't worry about it.
I thought so. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, most of the time. So this is a functional program. You could actually figure out concrete with this. Especially you could change. I made it generic with linear units. If I would have made this feet, then when I got done down here, I could have divided by 27, and that would have given me the actual how many cubic yards you would order from the concrete company. Okay, but I was kind of making it generic. So it would work with meters, it would work with inches, it would work with whatever. So again, that's one I just made up. And those are like things you can do to practice your skills. So you should have one that looks similar to this. It's a good example for you on how to address this. I taught you a few extra things here, these slash T's and this here to format to so you don't have a bunch of decimals. That gives you 2 decimal places. This one down here, actually, if it's in thousands, you get your comma to divide it into thousands, or millions or 100,000s, whatever. It's going to put a comma in, right? If you put a comma dot 2F, get 2 decimal places. Of course, if you make that 0, it'll round it to the whole number. If you make it, whatever you want. In the next chapter, we'll talk more about how to format these things using the printf, and then we're going to also address strings, because we don't use an equal sign like we have here. Let's just say, just kidding, that this was we want to decide if it's Bob or Mary. Okay, we don't use equal signs. We use a string function, and that's part of the next chapter. Okay, so we'll be covering that in a week or that. So if you wrote this one and it's working, you can put it in your portfolio and say Doug concrete, or just put concrete extra credit when you add it to your portfolio, and you'll get an extra 5 points. Any questions, or anybody's that doesn't run? Everybody's happy. All right, I'm going to stop sharing then. And in reality, that's my song and dance for today. Again, I'd appreciate it if you went over the program. And that way, again, it's a learning experience. You should be able to, if I do it in class, I would like for you to be able to do it on your own, reconstruct it. In other words, you should be able to sit down and say, oh, I want to calculate da 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 da. Boom. You go get the calculate. Even if you didn't know how to do cubic measurements, you could look them up on the internet, right? You could have went over here to I don't know, Google or whatever. See if it's going to pop up. Oh, you guys aren't sharing with. Never mind. But you know, you could Google calculate concrete or some cubic yards, and you could type in your length, your width, and your height, and boom, your answer on this program should come out the same as the one that you get from Google. Okay, that's a way to check your answer. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.